G'day and welcome to A Down Under Yarn. I am your host Fiona, also known as Fifykins. If you find someone on the internet called Fifykins, it's probably me. So please stop by and say g'day. Today is Wednesday the 9th of October and this is episode number 41. This is the A Down Under Yarn podcast. I'm also the dyer behind Solar Flare Fibres, so at the end of the podcast there will be a bit of a shop update. Welcome to new viewers especially. Welcome to those who are returning viewers. Thanks for sticking around, I suppose. Week that was, we had our Fibercrafters AGM on Friday, and I'd already said I was going to take on the newsletter production and website of things, which I was happy to do. And then at the AGM they were stuck without a treasurer and a secretary. And of course, if you don't have a treasurer and a secretary, we're an incorporated body, you fold. And there's quite a bit of money in the bank from apparently something that happened several years ago, but they've carried it over in case it's needed. So I said I'd be the treasurer. Look, I'm okay with books. I don't mind that. I figured that was much better than secretary, even though the secretary's job has been divided up a lot. The former treasurer, there's really only a few things she doesn't want to do. She's still happy to do all the computer work, so that's quite nice. And she can do that, and I can run around and do banking for her. So that's going to be fine. I don't think I've got any worries about that. We're still trying to find a secretary though. So we had the AGM, which was, it's always an interesting thing. It was lovely catching up with people. They really are a really good bunch of people. Then the weekend, it was a long weekend. Monday was a long weekend in Queensland. It's a new public holiday. It is in lieu of the public holiday we used to get in May for May Day or Labor Day. However, even though it's called Labor Day, it's not Labor Day because Labor Day is in May. So it's just an extra public holiday. So it was a relaxing weekend. The kids came back on Saturday evening, which was nice. They seemed to have a really good time down south. But it's nice to have them home, and I think they prefer being home at times. Just, I suppose, routines, and they accept my consistency. They know if I say no, I mean no, and I explain to them why I say no. And whilst it takes a little bit of time for them to come back to acknowledging that when they've been away, hey, it is what it is. But on Monday, Mimmel and I went out to a friend's place. They have built a house out of recycled materials, basically, in the rainforest, out in the Redledge Valley. He's an engineer and sourced most of the material for the house from scrap depots, from recycling areas, from the local rubbish dump. The windows come from a shopping centre that was being renovated a few years ago. It is all sustainable. It's amazing. It is the most amazing place you can imagine, and it's right on a creek. And I went down there. I will try and put some video in at the end that I took when I walked down there in the rainforest. And unfortunately, there weren't as many birds or insects around, so the sounds weren't necessarily there because we weren't there at the right time. But still, it was just lovely being out there, and I posted some photos to Instagram and got some inspiration for the yarn club that's coming up as well. Administration stuff. I've got Ninja's here. She's just trying to say hello. She's got a tissue in her mouth. You got a cold? You got a cold? You need to blow your nose? Okay. Anyway, the Yazzie bag giveaway is still happening. That is going through on the 23rd of October. I will draw, I think I said 3, but I'm going to draw 4. Can't remember how many I said I was going to draw. I'm definitely going to draw for 4 bags. So please enter that. Just leave a comment in the Down Under Yard group. There is a thread there for the Yazzie bags giveaway, and tell us something that makes your knitting life easier that you like to use. And there will be 4 products being given away, and that will carry through to November as well, because they really are fantastic bags. I reviewed them a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't seen that yet, make sure you check out the episode 39. The other thing to remind you of is the Podfiber crowdsourcing event through Indiegogo. I saw that there have been a few donations this week. A lot of people got notification from Blip yesterday that Blip is no longer going to be hosting their podcasts. Blip is actually closing their accounts at the end of the month and not allowing them to upload anything else. So it's not like people can record an episode and say, hey, I'm really sorry, this is what's happened. They've got to try and get out through social media, which is, it's a shocking situation, and I really, really feel for the podcasters who have been affected by it. If you notice one of your regular podcasts that you watch has not been updated, perhaps go and look at their Ravelry group. If they've got a Ravelry group, check them out on Twitter or Plurk, or if you know their Ravelry name, check them out, send them a message, because I know some podcasters have said they are not going to, thanks Ninja, hello, yes, I can see you. They're not going to carry on at the moment. They're going to have a break and see what happens in the future. Some people are adamant they are definitely carrying on. So check that out. The Knit-a-Long and Aussie Yarning is going strong. Head over there. I'll get to that more when I get to the shop. Excuse me, I should have turned my phone off. That's nice. That's from my telco, telling me that one lucky child I know could win a chance to voice a character in the Lego movie. We'll see how that goes. I'll have to have a look at that and see what that's all about, because that would be quite funny. The Knit-a-Long for Joyce in Aussie Yarning, I'll get to that. There is also the Hats for Grammy drive that is happening in Silly Fru's podcast. Sassy Pants Knitter, SPK. Head over there. There is a skein of solar flare fibres up for grabbing that as well. So that has been sent off to Silly Fru. On to the knitting. Have a finished object. It's taken a while, but I did get there. To get a finished object, that is. And the funny thing was that in reality, this... Excuse me, Ninja. Need you to come here. I apologise for that. Thank you. You say sorry to the people whose earbuds you've just blown out, okay? Thank you. This is the Stephen West mystery knit-along that I have finished. And if you put together all the knitting time, I probably would have finished it in between 1 and 2 weeks. But I finished it on Sunday, when the final clue came out on Friday morning my time. So thanks, Ninja. There you go. So if you haven't finished and you don't want to be spoiled, perhaps look away now. But here is mine. I blocked it. Now, let me just show you. There's that bit. Then there's that bit. Then there's that bit. Then there's that bit. Then there's that bit. Yes, this is a very large shawl. Before blocking it, I'm 5'9". I could hold it from my shoulder tips, just at my shoulder tips, and it would point down and just touch the ground. Now I've got my hands well above my head and it's touching the ground, but I'm so glad I blocked it. My procrastination over the weekend was whether or not what bind off to do, and I chose to do the Pico bind off, also known as the Pico bind off of Doom, because it took me all day Sunday. And yes, I did procrastinate a lot. I got through some Ravelry boards that I haven't been to for a while. I actually contemplated cleaning the oven and pulling the fridge out and cleaning behind the fridge. That's how much I was procrastinating. But I am so glad I did it. There you go. That's probably a pretty good representation of the 3 colours. This is all solar flare fibres in the Apollo base, which is 80% BFL, 20% nylon. It's 400 yards per 100 grams. I've got how much I used of each colour up on the project page, which I will link in the show notes. And again, the show notes are available at fifykins.com still. But the 3 colours I used were the Burning Orange, which is the orange, the Hi-Ho, which is the silvery grey. Probably best to show that down this end. And then the purple is People Eater. So those were the 3 colours that I used. Now next week, on Thursday, I am heading off to a networking luncheon. The only reason I'm going is because it's a world record attempt to get the most net workers in one room, and it was $22 for lunch. So I figured, hey, I'd do that and go along. So the good thing is I'll be able to wear this. I've got a nice navy dress that I'll wear this. Hey, there'll be people there I know. I know there are people there going that I know. There are lots and lots and lots of ways to wear this. And there we go. I like poking one of the ends through one of the big loops. I'm not wearing a top that really demonstrates how well this goes, but it's lovely. I really like it. You're not going to expect a more traditional type shawl from Stephen West, and he hasn't disappointed giving something different. It is quite narrow, but it is long, and yeah, I mean, you can almost wrap it around you, and there you go. So that is a finished object, and again, really pleased I blocked it. I had to block it on the trampoline because there was nowhere else that was big enough. I couldn't even lie it diagonally across the bed. There wasn't really enough room. And I've got a king-size bed, so used the trampoline. Whips. Now, I do have a tale of woe in my whips. Last week I mentioned I was doing the Meltran Designs knit-along for the socks. I ended up frogging that. From what I've seen in spoiler pictures, the 64 stitch, which is the regular stitch pattern, looks fantastic. The 80 stitch I wasn't happy with, the way it was positioned on the leg, and I hummed and hawed. In the end I've ripped it out. However, once all the clues are out, I may tweak it a bit and cast it on again. It just wasn't working for me. I've seen photos of other people's and it's looking great, so that's good to see, but not that mine wasn't very good. Plus, I usually do 72 stitches, and the 80 stitches was getting quite loose, yet I like the fabric I had, so if I'd gone down a needle size, I don't know. Not sure. Not sure what I'm going to do with that. It's there, and it's there for the future. I am doing the Susanna IC Mystery Shawl, which is the Autumn Mystery Knit-Along. I haven't actually got to Clue 2, but I finished Clue 1. Clue 2 started on, I think it was released on Sunday, so I just haven't got to that yet. I've only got a nibby-nobby there because I noticed I had a stitch that had fallen off, that I don't think was part of a short row, but it could have been. I'm going to count the stitches before I start the next clue. If I've got an extra one, I'm going to knit two together. That's how I roll. That's not a very accurate colour at all. It's a much more tealy colour. This is the Amaterasu, which is the lace. Let's see, is it going to go? This is the lace base. No, oh, there we go. I think I had trouble last week, didn't I? That's more accurate there. That's probably more grey than it is. I think I've got photos on my project page again, so it's something to look at. Really, I mean, the stockinette portion was quite fun. I looked at a couple of spoiler pictures. I like the look of the lace so far. So I'm going to keep going with that. Then, because I ripped out the other socks, and because Mimmel has a birthday in a few weeks' time, and it's a sort of big birthday because it ends in a 0. He will not tell me what he wants to do. He will not tell me what he wants for his birthday. He went and ordered something a couple of weeks ago that arrived yesterday. I said, if you told me you wanted that, I could have got you one of those for your birthday. And he goes, oh, yeah, I don't think about birthday presents. So it's been a bit of a... I do know, though, he loves knitted socks, and he loves them throughout the year because of the wool, the properties of the wool. He says in summer they keep his feet cool, in winter they keep his feet warm, they draw the sweat away, they don't smell. He's been known to wear them a few days in a row. I know. So I decided I was going to knit him some socks. These are the new socks I've cast on. It is the D-Man sock pattern, which I did mean to pull this up. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I have a project page set up, and it's by Karen S. Lauger. I assume that's how you spell it, L-A-U-G-E-R, so how you say it, Lauger. And it's designed to be a masculine sock pattern, which is what I was after. I'm using, again, some Apollo base because I know he will want... That wasn't me kicking the dog, by the way. Excuse me. I know he is very proud of my dyeing, and I thought it'd be nice to give him something that I've dyed. This is the business as usual colourway. I've just done one repeat. It's very difficult to see, but it's a combination of knits and pearls, and really, really easy to follow. It gives. I do like the photos they have in the finished objects, and they say to do it in a variegated yarn. So yeah, I'll see how this goes. I haven't done a lot of work on it. Mimel was on nights last week. I cast it on Friday during the Fibercrafters AGM, and then over the weekend finished off the Stephen West, and then Mimel's been off. So I haven't been able to work on it because I don't want him to know about it. I did want to do the new heel, the Whiz Bang Phantasmagorical heel pattern, which is, excuse me, I bought it yesterday, that everyone's been talking about, the Fish Lips Kiss heel. However, I do have to trace his foot and work out where his ankle is, and I don't know how I can do that without him finding out that I'm knitting him socks for his birthday. I did think of saying that a friend was doing a survey on foot sizing for a sock pattern and is after as many variables as they can. That may be how I get around it, but I'm not sure yet. So that is that. I think that's all the all the projects I've been working on. I've spent quite a bit of time searching Ravelry for other ideas though, and going through my queue and working out what I want to do, because that does lead into another bit of administratia that I forgot to put in before. In November and December, we are going to be having our Gunner knit along, and Gunner this year. This is the year I'm Gunner. As I mentioned last week, in Australia, you call someone a gunner if they're always saying they're going to do something and they never actually do it. So we're actually going to be gunners and we're going to get something done. This year I wanted to knit a Fair Isle hat, for instance. So I will be knitting a Fair Isle hat during the knit along then. You may have said, this is the year I want to knit 10 sweaters, and so far you've only knit 8 sweaters. If you reckon you can get 2 sweaters done in those 2 months, that's great. If you say I want to knit 6 pairs of socks and have knit 3 pairs of socks and have 4 on the needle still, you may want to try and finish some socks. Whatever you want to do, whatever you've set as some goals at the start of the year, and it can be anything you like. So go for it. I'm doing a bit of dog wrangling here, so I do apologise. Now, haven't done any spinning because we had the AGM and I didn't get to card the second part of my fibre. I'm doing that this Friday, and then I'm hoping to finish off that fibre and then put something else on the wheel. The only acquisition I have this week is my Ply magazine, which turned up this morning, and I still haven't taken it out of the plastic because I've had a pretty busy day. So that is something I'm going to curl up in bed with this evening and have a read of and let you know next week what I think of it. I know everyone else loves it, so I'll probably be a sheep and really like it as well. So this now leads us into the shop part of the podcast. And if you don't want to stick around, you're missing out. That's only my opinion, but I do understand. There are some pretty big announcements this week. Okay, so for those sticking around, Solar Flare Fibres update. I suppose the first one is I signed my contract and paid my money, and I'm going to be a vendor at the Zombie Knit Apocalypse next June in America. It's exceptionally exciting. It's amazing that I don't know if I was thinking I was going to be accepted. It's fantastic to think I am vending with some people I have admired so much, some people who I can't wait to see their products, some people I haven't really heard of, which is fantastic. So really, really looking forward to that, looking forward to meeting people. I was already planning on going and had joked that if I wasn't vending, I'd have a couple of suitcases of yarn and have private showings in my hotel room, which was just a joke. So I'm trying to build up some more inventory so that I've got enough to sell. I'm still looking at expanding. I'm announcing a new base today. I'm looking at expanding more into some heavier weighted yarns and into fibre in the new year as well. So I'm hoping I will have plenty of stock. A couple of ideas I've got as well as to how things can be done. I have my luggage that I can take over. I'm thinking I'll probably ship over some things. If I get a whole lot dyed earlier in the year, I can ship it SEMA, which saves me about $50. So again, we will wait and see. But the other things we have, the club is full. It filled up pretty quickly. There was one spot left, and I thought, I'm actually hoping no one takes it, because then I'll get a skein of yarn too, but that's okay. I'm glad that it's full. I'm glad that people have also said to me, you know, I missed out. I'm really looking forward to next time. So next time there will be more spaces. I'm just trying to keep it small to begin with. I'm trying not to bite off too much too soon. And so I am trying to keep the club to begin with small, to keep my yarn bases only growing from time to time, not something new all the time, because I want to continue to experience the growth that I have had. I mentioned last week the niece program, which is what I'm part of, was meant to be starting tomorrow. I got a phone call yesterday saying, I'm sorry, we didn't get your paperwork in on time. You've been delayed a fortnight. However, last week I mentioned that we were having an opportunity, and the opportunity is still going on. So until the end of October, there will be 13% off all orders over $50 with the code October Opportunity 13. In some ways, it's a thank you to those people who've already supported the business, and also to those people who are looking at making some purchases. So until the end of October, 31st of October, October Opportunity, 13% off all orders over $50 with that with October Opportunity 13 as the code. Now, which brings me to new colourways. Now, I'm thinking Christmas. I know it's early. Christmas is in the shops here. I used to work in retail in a department store called Myer in Cairns, and Christmas went out in September. And I can remember my first year going, why is Christmas stuff going out in September? And they said, look, we have a 12-week lay-by, so a 10-week lay-by. No, 8-week lay-by it was, I'm pretty sure. 2-month lay-by. And if people are wanting to lay-by a Christmas tree, they lay-by in September, pick it up in November to decorate it for Christmas. And I thought that actually makes sense. And you've got to get people prepared. For me, I've looked at when I should release Christmas colourways, and I thought if I don't release them soon, I'm not going to get them out to people in time for them to knit up things for Christmas. So because of the way stocks things are at the moment, Christmas colourways will be pre-orders. They will be sent out, I've said 4 to 6 weeks. However, I'm assuming that a lot of them will be sent out a lot sooner than that. I have a yarn order that has arrived in Australia that should be here in the next couple of days, which is really going to help me. And it's also got my new base on it, which I had hoped to show people, but that's okay. It looks like the yarn order has been on a European tour, so that's exciting. I'm hoping they've slipped little things in there on the travels. You know, some cheese, some wine, a baguette, anything like that. So we'll wait and see. So I've got one new colourway that is not necessarily Christmas, and this is a colourway that was going to be a Christmas colourway, but in the end I figured it was too light, and I quite like it as it is. I was going to just over dye it. Mimmel went, no, he really likes this one for some reason. So I'm calling this one Helga. The yellow is actually probably a bit brighter than that. I'm going to take photos and put them up. The dog's down here trying to nibble at my toes. Ninja, thank you. So this is Helga. This actually has 2 different shades of blue, which you can't really see here, and the yellow, which is quite a bright yellow. If I unwind it, can you see the different shades of blue? Not really. The photo will go up. So this is Helga. And again, a long repeat variegated colourway, which will probably do some pooling. This is in the Apollo base. It will be going up in the shop in the Apollo base. Now onto the Christmas colourways. or it's not really Christmas, it's holidays. And I mean, I'm not someone who celebrates Christmas as such. I celebrate it as a friend of mine calls it Feastmas, where it's a time to get together with friends and eat lots of yummy food. So whatever your things are, I'm hoping that these yarns inspire you in your holiday preparations. I have also tried to steer clear of what I would class as traditional Christmas colours, the reds and the greens and that sort of thing. Christmas in Australia is different to Christmas in the Northern Hemisphere. It's, of course, in the middle of our summer. So that also has dictated some of what I've done. So the first one I'm going to show you is one that is inspired by a picture which I'm going to insert here as well, and it's Santa at the beach. So, I'm sorry, I've got a dog. I've got a needy dog, which is worse than a needy child, I'm telling you. So this is Santa at the beach. So we have the sand colour here, we have Santa's red here, and then we have the blue of the beach and the sky. If I wasn't selling this, I'd be hitting the dog over the head with it because she's just driving me around the bed. Okay, Ninja, thank you. I don't know, I think she must think I'm crazy talking to the computer and she thinks I'm talking to her or something. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, this is Santa at the beach. The next colourway that I will show you is Oh Holy Night. Now that's a bit accurate. This is a lot darker than the Helga colourway. And of course Helga is called that because it's Helga from Sweden. We had a TV show a few years ago in Australia, and they used to say, "Hello, my name is Helga, I am from Sweden," and it reminds me of... I'm really sorry about Ninja. Ninja, come here. Do you want me to kick you downstairs? Do you want me to take you downstairs? No, I didn't think so. Sorry, I'm going a bit crazy here. A bit cray-cray, as Imi would say to me. This is Oh Holy Night. So it's actually more gold and yellow there. Again, I'll put a photo in with a tealy blue and a midnight type blue. So that one will be going up. Now, all Christmas colourways, as I say, will be pre-orders. And you will have a choice of bases. So the bases you will have the choice of are the Apollo base, which is the 400 yards, 80% BFL, 20% merino. You will have the Sol base, which is 490 yards of a 3-ply merino, which is great for shawls. And you will have the new base, which I will talk about soon. Then we have one of my favourites, which is Happy New Year. This, to me, is fireworks on New Year's Eve. I have patches of blue which have bits of firework through them, and that's intentional. And then I have pops of fireworks everywhere else. So this is Happy New Year. And again, would knit up quite nicely, I think. But that's just me being biased. Happy New Year. And again, could probably be, you know, for any time of the year. And that's what I'm hoping with a lot of these colourways. Whilst they will only be around for Christmas or for the holiday season, they are things you can probably knit up throughout the year and perhaps have a Christmas in July or a Christmas in April or a Christmas in November, whenever you want to have that sort of thing. The next colourway is called Gingerbread House. And this was a friend, it's actually fairly accurate, a friend on a VKN suggested this one. So it has gingerbread brown interspersed with pops of candy colours. This one has pink and greens and blues and purples, and of course the white for the icing. So that is Gingerbread House. And then I have 3 colourways which are all based on the same theme. And the overriding theme is Silver Bells, the Christmas Carol Silver Bells. So I have, which way was I doing this? Okay, I have the first one here, which is City Sidewalks. Now, these are dyed 50-50. So 50% is silver, 50% on this one is that bluish purple. This one here is more blue purple. Now, these are not going to be self-striping. However, they will stripe up a leg of a sock because of the way they're dyed. Because 50% is each thing. So they're not dyed as self-striping, but they will have some form of striping. So that's this one here. So this one here is City Sidewalks. Here's me doing a pretty crap job of rescaling them up like this. Usually I use my sticks. Again, I'll probably put a photo in because it's semi-accurate there. So it's a purple with the grey. Then I have strips of street lights, which is an aqua blue with the silver. Again, same effect. So 50%, 50. And that is a, I think it's probably a summer blue. And that's something I was looking at getting in there as well. And then finally, I have Ring-a-Ling, which is a maroony, purpley, rich plummy, more plum purple, I suppose, with silver. If you would like a Silver Bells colourway done with another colour, I did think of dyeing one up with a red and a green, but I didn't want to dye up too many. Please let me know. As I say, that they will be pre-orders. Now the new base. The new base is called Boulder. And it is a 75% merino, 20% nylon and 5% stellina. 2-ply yarn, 438 yards per 100 grams. So they're 100 gram skeins. I have felt it and I have a sample which I did mean to get out and show you, but I forgot to. So again, I'm happy with it myself, looking forward to dyeing with it, and that will be the new base. So I will be putting up pre-orders for all of these yarns in the shop. If you spend more than $50, which is 2 skeins of yarn basically, you will save 13%. Now, they are pre-orders, they will all ship together, so anything that is currently in the shop that you order will ship with your pre-order. As I've said a 4 to 6 week turnaround. However, that is worst case scenario. Most of the ones with the yarn that's coming in this week, if you order this week, I'd say they're probably going to be out by the end of next week, but don't hold me to that. Okay. They will all ship together and I will keep you informed as to their progress. So that's the Christmas themes for this year from me. I haven't seen anyone else submit their Christmas themes yet. I am aware that postage takes a while, although, excuse me, I've got some fibre up my nose, although I posted something to America last Tuesday and it got there on Monday. I posted something within Australia on Tuesday and got there yesterday. Yes, we did have a public holiday on Monday, but it would have been the same time frame. So sometimes you hit all the right connections. I did skein, that's one thing I did this week. I skeined up a heap of mini skeins that have been sent off to the Indian in the Mitten and Highlands on the Fly retreat. So if you're going there, look out for a mini skein, and there's also a card in there with a nice little message on the back you might like if you were heading along to those retreats. I think that's probably about it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Christmas colourways will be up in the Solar Flare Fibres forum on Ravelry. Please come and join there as well. I'm also opening up a thread on there for finished objects for October, November, December, and there will be a drawing at the end of the 3 months. Anyone who's finished an object using Solar Flare Fibres in that 3 months will be in the draw. Okay, very, very weird thing just happened there. I was just talking and suddenly it stopped. And I got a sign up saying, shut down anything else that could be using this. And this is the only thing that's using my webcam, so I don't know. Anyway, I think that is about it for this week. So until next week, I'll say uru, cheers, and 9:30 Friday for the update with the release of the Christmas colourways. Now, sorry, let's go back a bit. Daylight saving. Southern states in Australia have gone into daylight saving. We do not have daylight saving up here in Queensland. We're an hour behind because a few hundred years. The rest of the country, at times it seems that way anyway. So it will still be 9:30 my time, which is 10:30 down south. It's 7:30 in the morning in WA. It's, I don't know, I think think it's about 12:30 in New Zealand. America, I think you're doing something about daylight saving, ending it this weekend. So this Friday, though, I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Anyway, Ninja's been having fun, and I do apologise for that. Okay. So until next week, I will now say, uru, cheers, bye.